for that one.
Oh, maybe we should say that. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Miles with Moms podcast. I am Whitney.
I'm Olivia.
I'm Shanna.
And we are sadly missing Trisha today, but she'll be on next time.
Yes. We miss her.
We miss you, Trisha. We need her wise words and her F-bombs to
Yeah.
podcast.
Yes.
So today we don't know. I just saw what Shanna just put under your name. If you're watching, well, you can't see this on YouTube, but there's something underneath all of our names where we're recording, and Shanna is the professional butt wiper. I am the mother queen. And Shanna just put underneath Olivia's name, hotter, wiser, older. You did just have a birthday.
Yeah. I did. And I'm obviously hotter and older. And now she's given me wiser too. So thank you for that.
Well, we'll just wait for whatever you drop on this podcast. So we're going to do hot takes in the running world. We're just going to kind of line them up and talk about them. Because we had a topic picked, but when we found out that Trisha can't make it, we wanted to save it for when she can make it. So, okay, our hot takes are coming. We're going to do a quick shout out, and I am going to shout out one of my athletes, Emily Gannon. She is just like somebody that somebody said this about her that we sort of know in common, and it's so true. You just want to bottle her up and take her everywhere. She is just so dedicated. She's a wonderful mother. She's a kindergarten teacher. She's so sweet. She's just, as like a coach athlete relationship, it can often be sort of one-sided, but she's always asking me how I'm doing, and she's a hard worker, and I'm just amazed by her. She's one of the many amazing people that I coach. But Emily, I love you. You're awesome. Maybe one day we'll meet in person. So that's the shout out for the day.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, she sounds amazing.
And she listens. She listens to the podcast. So
yeah.
Yay!
She is one of those like, oh, you listen? Oh no, shrinking.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Hot takes. Do we just want to do kind of a round robin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Who wants to go first?
Should I can do a mother runner one.
Oh yeah, do it.
This is my favorite one. This is an Instagram caption that I'm always like, so stupid. That's every time. I'm like, must be nice. It's sleep is the best recovery tool.
Wait, I think I've said this. Oh no. You know I love my sleep.
I know that, and I know it. But here's the thing. When it's coming from someone that doesn't have kids, and I don't know people that don't have kids. Like I'm 100% one of those people that's like, you're young, you're childless by choice. I support anybody and everybody. However, it's kind of equal to that whole like everybody has the same 24 hours in the day. However, like sleep is the best recovery tool. It could be mom related, but two, I think about all the people that are out there working night shift, and I'm like, oh, they don't get to sleep. They're not recovering. They're just hanging on for dear life. Okay.
Yes.
And that is my hot take. That is annoying to hear because we like, especially when you have little kids. I mean, or even older kids that are unpredictable. Like it kind of applies to everybody that sleep can be unpredictable as a parent. Period.
100%. Yes. That always stresses me out when people assume that you can control your sleeping condition.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember when Eleanor, I've mentioned she did not sleep. And I remember I was at work and there was somebody who also had a similar age baby. And they were talking about how their baby like slept through the night right away. And I was so sleep deprived. And I just looked at him and I was like, I want to punch you in the face right now.
Yeah.
In the middle of a meeting with my boss. And I was just like so unhinged, but so angry. Like, this is not fair.
So true. However, when you say it, like you still go to bed pretty late. You're not out there like going to bed at 8:30 p.m. I sometimes do.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, I would go to bed early, but my family doesn't, and we all co-sleep, basically. Like we're never sleeping alone.
Yes.
So there's no, in my scenario, there is no like, peace out, I'm going to bed because I'm ready. This is like, I am not a necessary tool, but I'm an important tool. I've never thought that I would ever say that sentence. I'm an important tool. What does that even mean?
That's the level that you've gotten to. You see yourself as a tool.
I'm a Swiss Army knife of human.
You guys, somebody get this girl a massage and a facial.
Yes.
Please.
That is my, like, when we were talking about earlier today, like, what do you do? What do you want when you're stressed? Yes. And Shanna's like, I want cookies. Yes. Olivia, what would you want? Cookies?
Oh, when I'm stressed?
Yeah.
Just like a big fat jar of Nutella and a hot chocolate.
Oh.
Let me be very clear that I was like pretending to think about it like I wasn't just imagining it coming to me from the heavens.
Yeah.
I would do that. I do Nutella, peanut butter, and a massage. I'm a massage.
Oh yeah.
Are you guys all emotional eaters or no?
Mm-mm.
You are? I think so.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'm an eater all the time, but I'm extra like with emotions. Like if I'm stressed, I'm like fatty, greasy, something with a Coke.
Yeah.
Like, burger, fries, Coke. Like that's what I want.
I'm like cereal and chips. Coke. Cereal and chips.
Cereal. Okay.
Ooh, yeah. Mine's ice cream for sure. I feel like I eat ice cream so often that I can't even consider it emotional. I mean, than any emotion I have. Calm, happy, tired.
Well, how do you deal with your emotions? Like, what is your outlet to deal with your emotions outside of running? Because I feel like we're all going to say running, right?
Right.
Like, outside of running, let's say you couldn't run for that day and you had high levels of emotions. How do you cope with it? Like,
I'm a TV person.
TV?
I'm probably a cleaner.
Yeah, I could.
I wish I had that.
I'm
like a cleaner and like just get rid of everything.
Oh, me too, for sure.
House.
Yeah. Like if I look at it, rage cleaner.
Yes, I'm a rage cleaner. And then everybody's enraged with me because I got rid of stuff that they apparently still cared about.
Yeah. I will like absorb myself into a TV show, even on my phone. Like I'll just lay there and it's like it's always something that I've seen before too. So that is definitely how I deal with
there's comfort in that. Like there are TV shows that I'll go back to that like Gilmore Girls.
Ultimate comfort show. Yeah,
totally. Because who doesn't want to live in Stars Hollow?
Exactly. No, it's so true.
I want to say right now.
However, I'm always like, who can drink that much coffee? Like
they do drink a lot of coffee. I'm like,
they do.
What does your heart rate look like?
No, same. And then also I'm always like, who can afford that much food all the time?
Like, eating out all the time. I know
all the time.
Every like season, I'm like, I eat out all the time, but you're a single mom with a daughter that can't afford her tuition. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Luke never charged her though, right?
That's true.
He must have not. Yeah.
Oh, Luke. Now I'm gonna have to really go back and pay attention when I watch the episode for the 8th time.
Yeah.
Whether or not she's paying. Okay. Here's a hot take. Running culture can be toxic.
Ooh.
Shanna does not agree. The obsession with times, distances, and body image can create an unhealthy environment for both new and experienced runners. I am going to say that I agree with that because I feel like I've been in that culture, especially focused on times.
Yeah,
where it is just, more is glorified, faster is glorified, and you're essentially in this rat race. And now it's interesting. I have to go back and rewrite all of the articles on my website for all the Google crap. And a lot of these I wrote when I was in that culture, and now I'm seeing now that I'm outside of it, like you are very receptive and molded by people around you. And I realize now like how kind of slanted towards the unhealthy it was, where it was like, you got to run more miles, you got to run faster, and it's just, it became like very much of a focus. And I don't know. So I think that it can be. And then to piggyback off of that Strava could be ruining running, because not only is it now you're competing with people that you may not have even met in real life, somebody you follow on Instagram and stuff. What do you guys think?
I think Strava definitely, like, I got off Strava right like a month before CIM, and it was mainly in comparison with myself, my old training block, because I had done the CIM build. So I was like always going back. I'm like, where am I at now?
Yeah.
So getting off of that was definitely helpful. I'm just in a season where I took time away from running. So like I love the competitive side right now. So it's like, to me, I'm like, it's so exciting. It's so fun. It's not toxic for me because I've had so much time away. Little Grayson.
Grayson's so funny. He's totally like video bombing you in the back. Yeah.
I'm trying to just stay focused and not.
But I also feel like the swindle, like, it swings back the other way. Like, there is a lot of people that are shaming people that, this is a topic we should talk about another time, where they're shaming people that are goal focused. And they're saying that they're toxic because they're goal focused. And it's like, hold up a second. I had 11 years away just solely being this incubator for babies for the last 5 pregnancies for 6 kids in a row. And it's like, I'm hungry for that. Like, I want that. I want the competition. I want to go drive hard. I want to go get out there and work and see what I could. This is my fast era. And there's no shame.
My fast era. Ooh, I like that. This is
we need that on a shirt.
That's on a shirt.
We're like, when are you going to arrive fast? I'm just kidding. No, but like, I just like, I'm thriving off of that right now. Like, that's what gets me out of bed. That's what's exciting to me. And so it's like, it's almost like there's this shame on both sides. Like, there's toxicity on both sides. There's the side where it's like, oh, just run whenever you want, and it's like, run if you feel like it, and you go run for fun. And then there's the other side where it's like, I'm David Goggins, and it's like, why can't we be both? Like,
I think you do a great job of being both. I think it's, yes, I 100% agree with you. I think for me, it was like, when you get into this place where you're afraid, like your decisions are made based in fear of losing that edge, which was where I was like ignoring my body, even though, it's like a rest day or 2 is not the end of the world, and you're not going to lose your fitness and your whatever. It's funny because I talk to, like, there will be days when the weather's crappy or I'm tired, and I'll be like, I don't really want to run 16 miles today or whatever it is. And my kids will be like, why? Then don't run. And I'm like, no, but you don't understand. Like, when you care about something and you're working towards a goal, no, but they do understand. And hopefully what we're modeling for them is teaching them, when you're working towards a goal, like, you show up even when you don't feel like it. Like, there's a difference between when you don't feel like it and, hey, this is actually going to be, detrimental to my goal.
Yeah, totally.
Right. No, goals are great. Goals are great as long as they are serving you well.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think a lot of things can be toxic from a certain side of things. It's kind of what you are exposed to and what you choose to be exposed to, right? Like, I think, if you are really into yoga, like, yoga culture could be very, very toxic depending on what you are exposed to or what studio you are attending. I think it could be the same thing with running. So if you're exposing yourself to people that are, posting toxic things, or, and you're looking at that person's Strava, I think that's like a very conscious thing you're doing, and you could consciously make the decision to stop. But also it's, knowing that if you can be secure in your own journey, like, then you can protect yourself from it a lot. And sometimes that part of being really innocent and not knowing to look for more, like, I think back to when I started running, I never thought to look for more. Like, I just was like, this is okay, good, Thank you for the report. Their dad is home to watch them. Like, how am I still hearing everything? Oh my gosh. So I think it's like, and I never really thought to like, yeah, my Instagram, like I would look at a few things but I can think of the exact Instagram people I was following at that time and what I was being influenced by and if it worked for me or not. And there are people that I now follow again, but they didn't work for me back then that I like started to follow and I was like, this is just not my vibe. And I was always really secure in myself though. I never worried about things. Like I was never really worried about my times. I was just like, I just knew I wanted more. And for me at the time, I think it was more mileage. Like that's what I wanted. I never really pictured a time at the end of that. And so I think it's like if you're stepping into it and you're all in, you could put yourself in a position where it could be toxic, right? Like, and you're like, my body doesn't look like that. My times don't look like that. And I think it's so easy to pick yourself apart instead of being like, I'm out here doing this. I'm going to start posting my journey, and being kind of self-involved in it. I think that that's okay, so it's kind of whatever angle you're coming in at, because I know that that was why I stepped away from yoga. It was really toxic. I went to a studio that was just very, very much about what you looked like versus like the actual practice of yoga. And like, it was, and that's okay. Like I just found a lot of comfort in doing my own thing, and no knock for, I don't think the studio was directly doing it on purpose, but they sold so much stuff that influences people to purchase stuff while they're there and stuff. So it's like anything, I don't know about other sports, but I think, it could even happen with like pickleball. I watch it happen, things get clicky.
People do. Yeah. I guess it's human nature. Like,
it is.
It's human nature
and how much you're exposing yourself to it and like where you're getting the information from and who you're following and things like that. So
again, it just goes back to like thinking about how it makes you feel. And if it's like no longer making you feel good, or I've had some athletes come to me who are like, yeah, I was running with this one woman all the time and she told me I needed to lose weight to get faster. And I was like,
oh, sad.
Yes,
that's so sad.
Like, women have come to me like, things that in their quote unquote friend group have said to them. And I'm like, you need to find new running friends. Like it stinks though, because it's like, first of all, it's hard as a mom to find friends, and then second of all, like it's habitual. You run with typically like the same people, and then you have to go find a new community. But it does stink, because the running community as a whole, when you think about it, when you go to races, it's like it's this beautiful, all-inclusive, cheerful thing. And then when you learn that like there are these little like seedy pockets of just like people being competitive over stupid shit and acting like they're in middle school when you're an adult. It's just, I don't know. So if you feel like you're in middle school because of what you're scrolling or who you're running with, you need to change. Go to us instead on your run.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're all so mature.
Right. I go back to that one review where they're like, I love listening to them talk about all their insecurities.
I know. I'm like, that was probably the episode where I was like, I really care what people think of me. And I'm like, I would die if someone didn't like me. I think about that one all the time, and I'm like, why say that out loud? It's like every episode, right? Like we're just like, as much as we have our topics picked out, like we don't have a script. And that's what I wish I could, like anything that has like ever bounced back. I'm like, I wish I could explain, like, sometimes you're just thinking and talking fast. Okay.
Oh yeah, I know. Maybe we need to put like a caveat.
Yeah.
If you took it the wrong way, we promise you that's not how we meant it.
Yeah, we're 100%. Yeah, we're easy to get along with.
Yeah, like us, please. Okay, Shanna, hot take. What do you got?
All right, I have let's see. Running is self-care.
Ooh. What's your take on it?
Yeah.
That yes, it is, or no, it's not?
Like it's self-care is something we should feel guilty about.
Oh, self-care all day.
Is it selfish?
That is not where I was expecting you to go, Olivia, but you're totally right, because it's like no matter what, I mean, just like what you're saying with running and having goals, it's like you damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, right? I mean,
I'd be like, keep your eye mask. I'm going for a run.
I am gonna say because it is self-care, but it's not like indulgent self-care. You know, to me, like self-care would be going to a spa or sitting in a bathtub and reading a book for an hour, although that's like a really long bath. But you know,
that would be me. I get out pruny from everything. Oh yeah.
I just took an Epsom salt last night, and Ella was like, "Are you ever coming out of there?" I was like, "Yes, I'm coming out of there when I'm ready."
When I'm ready, I like that happens too every time. I think I had to lay down the law. Like when I'm taking a bath, please don't come march down and be like, "Are you done yet?"
Yeah,
exactly.
I literally I drain the bathtub and I fill the bathtub up like 3 times. Like
yeah,
like that's like I don't get them all the time. I get them like once a week maybe, and it's like the best ever. I bring like
Epsom salt's amazing.
Yeah, it feels so good.
It's an amazing recovery tool, almost as good as sleep.
Hot take.
Here's my hot take.
I'm never gonna get the sleep side, okay? So it's the Epsom salt pass with me.
Do you think the type of person that falls asleep if she doesn't get a decent night of sleep?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I say that, but it's like I never get uninterrupted sleep, you know, because like somebody's always every night somebody's climbing into bed or you know something's happening with the dog. I mean, even with kids being older and not having 6 of them, you know, it's just once you become a parent, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think it's selfish. No, just kidding.
No, you don't.
I'm just being the devil's advocate here. No, I definitely think it's self-care, but it's like equal self-care to like when people say a shower is self-care. Like that's how I view it. It's like a shower is not self-care. A shower is necessity. And so I view like running the same thing. Like whether your form of running is hiking, whether it's going for a 30-minute walk, whether it's moving your body for a yoga session, doesn't matter. Like whatever it is, like that is not like, that's not going to a spa. Like that is human quality time that you need for your body, and it's good for you. It's good to move your body. So like when people say it's self-care, I'm like, yes, equal to a shower. And it's like just to shove it back to be like, hey, there's nothing selfish about going for a run because it's good for you. Like overall.
Oh, I love that perspective. That is I love that. I will change my mindset about that now.
Because I hate when people are like, oh, you took a shower, you got your makeup done, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and?
Right.
Oh, you say that for 10 minutes? Like, don't.
I just, that narrative of like especially when you first have a baby, I always feel so bad when it's like, you know, like I haven't been able to shower yet, right? You know, and it's like, I get that. I had a very clingy baby, and I remember that first shower when you're home. It's like it's like hard because you're
and
it is hard. But at the same time, you shouldn't ever like. There's no guilt. There should never be guilt associated with a shower. Yeah. So, and that's such a great perspective.
I had guilt with the shower though.
I did too.
Yeah, I did too.
And you're afraid, like your eyes aren't on them, so you're like you put them in the bathroom with you, and like in this little chair, and you're like,
yeah.
Are they okay? Like,
yes, you know? It's so true. You know, it's funny because like my husband, he tells me a lot that I should go and do something, and I'm like, and he's like, the only time you ever take to yourself is to go run, you know, and I'm like, but that's my time, you know, but like, I don't always want to get out of the house to do something for myself. Like I would like to stay home and be uninterrupted. Like that to me sounds better. Cause whenever anybody comes visit, they're like, are you going to go to Target? Are you going to go to Target? And I'm like, are you paying for it? Like, like, unless you're paying for it, I'm not going to go to Target right now. Like, I just want to I want to just lay low for a second at home. And so, you know, that I always, because I do associate that time that because I do feel so much guilt sometimes. I mean, it's like it comes in waves.
Yeah.
Like I feel guilty, and like today, I didn't feel guilty for a second that I went for a run. I didn't even look at the time. I don't know what time I went. You know, my kids were taken care of. I didn't feel guilty for a second. Tomorrow, I have a 90-minute run. I'll do it on the treadmill. I'll feel guilty. I already know it. So I'm sure the kids will end up with some new Hot Wheels or something. I don't know. And so, yeah. But I get that. I like that
there's
no, like that it's equal to just that you deserve time to yourself.
Yeah.
To go for a run, whatever it is.
Self-care to me equals like not doing anything. It's like no demands. Like I'm not accomplishing anything. I am just sitting there. Like last week, Olivia watching that apple cider vinegar on Netflix.
Good.
Have you seen that, Shanna?
You need to watch it.
I almost turned on last night, and then my husband was like, and I was like, fine, I'll watch this on the treadmill, my next run.
You need to watch it.
If you have an hour-long run or plus, you'll love it, and then you'll be like, oh, I can't wait to watch the next.
Is it like a documentary, or is it like an actual series?
No, it's a series. I think they're releasing a documentary soon. Yeah,
they are. Yeah, and so last week, like when we were chilling out before bed, like I was out. Anytime somebody would like, hey Whit, mom, I'm like, no, don't bother me. Watching this show. It's so good.
Oh my gosh.
So to me, that's self-care. All right, let's see if we can go through a few more. Olivia, do you have another one?
I'm worried that I offended somebody with my hot take already. Like we haven't even finished recording yet, and I feel like someone who like loves sleep is going to be like, that's not a good hot take.
Because we have balance. Because Whitney loves sleep, so
I know. No,
I'm even like I don't need a ton of sleep. I need 7 hours. I just know that I fall apart.
No, for sure. And
I'm just saying it comes from a place of like.
Frustration. Like I know that I need to sleep, but I can't.
Oh yeah,
right.
And it's just something that I see. I wish that instead of sleep, that it could be more promoted that rest days are the most important recovery tool.
Yeah,
sleep, right? Like that.
Hot take.
Like that is the best way to and because I don't think that a single person or like a married person that doesn't have kids that they need to change their opinion on sleep. Perfect. You want to get 12 hours? Like, I love that. Like, tell me everything. Tell me when you went to bed. Do you use
How are you making that happen?
Yeah. I want to know. I want to, what were your dreams? Tell me everything. But at the same time, when I see it, I'm like, nah, that's non-relatable to me, but I do think that if it could be reframed more, that rest days are the best recovery tool, because I always worry about people that don't take their rest days. So, or active rest days. I just worry a lot. I'm like, oh no, you got to rest. You need one day where you do nothing, because pro athletes, you know what they do? They like lay around and eat all day. Okay. They're resting.
Oh yeah. And getting massages and taking naps and there was some stat somewhere like Shalane Flanagan sleeps like 16 hours a day or something crazy like that. It's like, I don't think you need to. Olivia's going to be coming in like with the very docile, neutral hot takes. Like,
I know
running is good for your body.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so one time I had a masseuse. Speaking of that, I had a masseuse, and I was getting a sports massage, and she was like, where are you sore? I was like, oh, I've been running a lot. And she goes, running is the worst thing you could do for your body.
I had a massage therapist say that to me too.
And I was like, I looked at her and I was like, people do meth. And she was like, I'm sorry.
He's like,
we're not going Gotcha. I was like, I've never, because instant response, I was like, I was in Vegas getting the massage where like people are doing meth left and right. So I was like, there's no way you're going to tell me that people are out there just doing way worse stuff. And I was not willing to have that conversation. Anyways, hot take.
That's like the extreme. That's the extreme I'm talking about. It's like it can be one side or the other, but there's no gray area in between. Like,
yeah. Exactly. And if I've offended anybody else, I apologize ahead of time.
All the meth heads that listen to our podcast.
You never know.
True. We're sorry.
Okay.
Well, that's whenever I do have guilt for running, then I counter myself and I'm like, Whitney, like your habit, you could be taking the time to go like do tequila shots and dance on a table, but like instead you're choosing
I
to
love
like
that.
wake up in the morning and go run.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
It's pretty, like really, honestly, the fact that we even feel guilty is just pretty messed up. But thanks, society.
What if you do both?
Okay. Well,
I'll do both. Woo! Yeah. That was me all weekend in Vegas. Just tequila shots.
That weekend looked amazing. I can't believe you guys didn't even like you didn't even say it was your birthday celebration.
I know.
It was a big
sneaky birthday celebration.
It was sneaky. Okay, do you have a hot take, Olivia?
Oh no, I think I've offended enough people for the day. No, I'm very
still Trisha shoes, right?
I know. Oh my gosh. Well, she made me feel better. She was like, "Well, at least you didn't offend an entire state," and I was like, "Okay, that's fair." So yeah, I love
that we all didn't even say it's okay, Trisha. We were all like, "Oh, we're sorry, West Virginia. You're a beautiful state." We totally threw her under the bus. Who asked her to be on this podcast?
Also, Olivia, I think you've offended all of Utah at this point.
No, I know.
With the downhill running, with the pull legs, with the judgmental neighbors. I think Utah has been offended deeply.
If that's the case, come on over to Tennessee.
Yes.
The full court press. You guys just need to move to Tennessee.
I know. So I can offend some people over there or what?
with her progressive ways.
Oh no, we're a very red state. Maybe compared
to Utah.
Utah,
I don't mean to. I honestly, which is funny because if you met me if anybody knows me in real life,
it's okay to have fun, to laugh, to think things are weird. Okay, nobody thinks that having two wives is normal, so it's okay. It's okay to want to.
Okay, I say it's okay to take up space.
Yeah,
you can have your opinions about.
And listen, if you're a polyg listening to this, it's fine. You're okay to live your life, but we got questions.
We have questions, and we'll have you on.
Okay, let's do one more hot take. Shanna, do you have one? Do you want to do one on downhill races? No?
Shoot, how about you do that one? I feel like if it comes from my mouth, I look like I'm the one that's picking the fight.
I'm kind of on the fence about downhill races.
Okay, I'll say it. Okay.
Okay.
You right away.
Does downhill races count? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how I even say that.
That doesn't count.
Does downhill races need
should they be a BQ? Probably
do they
not.
Need what are those little
asterisks?
Yeah, asterisks. Does it need one?
I think so. I will say, so here's why I say I'm on the fence is because depending on the net elevation loss, you can really crush your quads.
Yeah.
And so then it's do they cancel out one another?
I feel like having done enough downhill races. I've done a couple. I've done more than a couple.
I've only ever done CIM if you count that. So
I don't count CIM at all. Not even close. Because CIM, as much as it's net elevation loss, the hardest part of the race is the last 6 miles, and that's flat. But also, for as much as you go up and down, it's my watch counted 37 hills or something. Yeah. So you're going up and down so much. I will say I was more sore than I ever have been in my whole life after CIM. But I don't think there's any canceling it out because
I've never run one, so I don't know. So do you have faster times?
Yeah.
You do. You overall have faster times. I will say, like, I've only run them as an inexperienced runner, so I don't know that I necessarily like. I thought that I would run a 3:17 at one of them, and I didn't. I ran a 3:39. They are hard in their own way because they do flatten out most of the time. Like, there's a couple that don't. Like Big Bear doesn't. That one is a very steady decline the whole time. But there's no doubt that like a downhill trajectory just can propel you forward, you know?
Well, yeah, it's gravity.
Exactly. So
we have to explain science here.
So
I feel like if you're not seeing those mile slips ever in your training, and you're doing them on race day, there's something wrong. Like,
I feel like, to be honest, people should claim that it is a downhill race.
I think so too, because
I remember that when people, like a few years ago, people that I trained with went and did Big Bear, and they posted like incredible times, and I was like, shit, maybe I should just go there, get my 240 whatever, and then call it a day.
Isn't that it's so tempting?
It's so
I
tempting.
feel like,
but it's not. It is kind of. It's not.
and when you're not seeing it in training, I think that's it's such a good point, because wow, you changed my name to Sleep Hater. Wow.
It says on the screen Sleep Hater.
It says Sleep Hater on the name. Yeah, because
all the power.
I just don't want to offend the people that have, maybe if there's moms out there that have posted that, then I don't want to make them feel bad for posting it. That was just a hot take.
I posted it. I don't feel bad.
Yes, it was generated by ChatGPT, if we're being very honest. Okay, it was not my hot take. It was the internet's. Okay, downhill races. The one thing that happens with it is there's disappointment that happens afterwards. Because if you're, and this can also come from a side of not knowing better, which happened with me, because there was a disappointment that happened when, one, I didn't get a time that I wanted, and two, hey, you guys, will you get out of here and give me some space for a second? Thank you so very, very much. So one, I didn't get the time that I wanted, but also so during one of my marathons, I ran this downhill race. It started like very uphill, and then I started going downhill, and I ran out of fuel. Or no, I didn't even bring fuel. I forgot it. And I was still putting out I know, it was crazy. I was still putting out 7:30s, 7:20s for over half of the race. And there was nothing in my gut. I was having huge gut issues. I think I started my period during the race. I literally had no energy, and I was still putting out like these times that I had, they were not my tempo pace at the time. And so it leads you then, if you sign up for a race later on, to feel disappointment, and because that always makes me sad when I see somebody, they're like, this was not the time I expected, and blah, blah, blah. I had a really tough day out there. And it's like, you had a better day than you think you did. Like your marathon course, that's your fitness. You had a fantastic marathon. If you did not bonk, you had a fantastic marathon. You had an amazing day. You had a downhill course. Like that's just, honestly, I feel like that's the truth. And that's just coming from having done both sides. And I would never knock anybody for doing downhill races if that's where they love the mountains. They love those courses, it is still the same 26.2. That's the thing.
I think that's the point on this hot take, right? It's like, we're not saying downhill races are bad. Like, I think they're fun. I think they could be really fun. People love the environment. If that's your jam, that's your jam. That's totally fine. I think it's just like, I think being transparent about the race course is a big deal. Like, because especially if you do have an Instagram account that's running related and you're posting your training and things like that, especially, or if you're a coach, things like that, like you should have that advertised. Like,
if you're claiming that as your PR.
And I remember personally, like I feel like some of the influence of some of the things I did and the way I trained was based off of downhill runners, like seeing where their fitness was and being like, wow, like I want to be there. And then coming to find out that they race these rebel courses, like extreme rebel courses, and again, amazing athletes still, amazing runners still, but it is two different worlds when you're running one time and then it's like 15 minutes slower on a flat course. Like, that puts you in two different ballparks, and it's like, that's false advertisement. Like, just be honest. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to get hate on that. I probably will, because I have a lot of people that like to run them, and that's fine. I don't knock them. I still cheer them on. That's their jam.
It's a different category. It's like
category.
Running a trail marathon is not the same as running a road marathon. Like, it's just a different 100%. Category. Yeah, it's just, if you're going to claim that as your PR.
Yeah.
If you're in a position of where your times matter, if, you know, like as an influencer or as a coach or something, then you should be transparent.
Yeah. I also just think that I will say this, that if you're signing up for a Revel race and like you love the marathon, it just being open to trying another race is a really fun thing, because so Revel races oftentimes don't have a ton of course support on the sides until they flatten out. And so they are often very lonely races. And that if you love the distance of 26.2, go and do a flatter course so that you are not put in a position where you have to clarify that it was a downhill race. Like, it is the same 26.2, and honestly, your legs might actually hurt way less during the race than you expect. Yeah, because it is so hard on your quads. And I know that some people do take the like quad strengthening very seriously, and I'm always like, I think that's so great, because then you're prepared. But go and run a flatter course, and because you might actually have a way more fun experience. I'm so glad that I don't do that anymore, because like you bus up to the top, freezing cold usually, and there's just usually not a ton of course support. And not a knock at Revel races, they do pick amazing courses, and they're super organized. They are very organized too, but like just a different perspective, that if you're like gonna go sign up for one and you're like, oh, it's downhill, it's more fun, like I challenge you to like find a flatter course and find one that has more course support. It is so much more fun to have people cheering for you versus that, because that will give you that same energy boost. I don't know. To me, I'm like an adrenaline person. So like and I'm a people person. So when people are cheering for me, like that gives me a boost, and that will make me run faster, or at least put more effort towards it, if that makes sense. It's like they cancel each other out.
Hot take. Does it count as your PR?
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'd say it's in a different category.
It is, I think.
Because I feel like a lot of people count it as their main PR. Like, if you hear a lot of people that run a flat course or an OTQ qualifier course, they will never claim that as their PR if they've ran a faster downhill course time.
Yeah, see, like, I thought about this when I was seeing all these people running Big Bear and running such fast times, and I was like,
Big Bear is
I just don't think I could ever do it and feel good about saying, well, yeah, I ran this time. And I don't know, because I even feel like I have to qualify it. Like, if I ran a time, I always want to put an asterisk and be like, it was on a very hilly course, like the other way around.
Yeah, me too. I totally get that. Yeah. I'm like, you should see my elevation gain. Even during CIM, I'm like, look at this elevation gain. Yeah. I don't know if it's your only marathon. I also would never want to knock anybody if it's like the only access that they have to races that are local.
Yeah.
That is a huge part of it. If you don't want to travel for a race, if you have a discount and stuff like that, like if this is financially what works best for you, or local is what works best for you, or you work for the company and that's what works best for you, like there are so many circumstances in that sense. Like yes, same 26.2. Like I think it's just more if you're putting yourself in a category where you are aligning yourself with people at the same speed as you, because you put that say somebody ran a 2:57 on a downhill course and I ran a 2:57 at CIM, but then we go out and we try to do a speed workout together and we're not in the same category. Like that's maybe where it's like, oh, like just clarify that was a downhill course, because that wouldn't be your time, right? So but it's really hard, because I think so much when you look at the course maps, you're like, that's a BQ factory. They call it that. They literally call it a BQ factory. And that's
I'm surprised that it's a Boston qualifier.
Yeah, I'm always surprised about that.
I feel like with Boston trying to figure out their, all the hubbub about them changing their qualifying times, like if there's too much demand, then why don't they go and like eradicate those races as qualifiers?
Yeah.
I've wondered that too. How much of it, I wonder if there's any like financial side of it
have they always been a qualifier?
See, I think they've only been popular, I mean, in I don't know, the last
that would 7 years. The fact that the time has gotten so much faster.
That's what I mean. Yes. Well, like more people are able to qualify.
Yeah, if it wasn't always a qualifier in the past, like that's a huge, like I've seen people literally on the marathon distance shave 10 to 15 minutes.
That's crazy.
Just 3 weeks, like 3 weeks time. It's not even possible. It's not even humanly possible unless you had like a really bad race, but that's not a common denominator. Like that's not your common outcome.
Yeah. So it's just, or unless the other race was like they ran it just for fun and then
Oh, I can tell you right now. Okay, my first marathon was a 4:18. 2 weeks later, there was 13 days in between my first two marathons. It was literally like April 8th to April 17th or something, like something really crazy. And I ran a 4:18 and then I ran a 3:53. So if that is not
there you have it.
There you have it. Sorry, I should have pulled that one right out. Yeah. That's the fact, right?
That's right out of where?
I mean, my mouth, okay? My brain, my memory, not my butt.
So you're it's just been too clean of a podcast. So we're just about to wrap. So I have to go somewhere.
I think that's like a great point though. It's like I did do that. I was like, somebody gave me their bib is what happened. And I was very frustrated after my first marathon. So I went out 2 weeks later. I knew it was a downhill course. I didn't know anything about how they worked. But I mean, shaving it was 25 minutes off my time. That's significant, And then
and like your fitness did not change in 2 weeks. If anything, I mean, you were hurting after, you're still recovering from covering that distance, even if it wasn't to your ability. Okay, I have one more, unless you guys have one. Treadmill running is not real running. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just like, agreed. It's not running.
Marathons are overrated. Now, I do really love the marathon. I'm not saying I believe this. This is from ChatGPT. This is not mine. But I do want to say,
I'm offended.
I know how much you love the marathon, Olivia. I do wish that other distances were as hot as the marathon. Like, I think it would be fun if we were out there trying to race the mile, or if, I don't know. I guess I get like people saying, I love the half marathon distance. I think it's great because it's like satisfying, but you can recover from it,
Yeah.
Really quickly. Do you think it's because there's not a Boston qualifier for those events?
That's a good,
like there's no like average like runner qualifier like for the half marathon or the 5K or the 10. So like I feel like that's why there's so much hype about the marathon, because they have like
Boston.
Their own Olympic trial qualifier, So
yes, totally.
I think there's part of that. I think also the wow factor though, like
because
I don't sign up for a lot of I don't sign up for a lot of half marathons. And whenever I do, like after this one, not a single person has asked me about it. No one's asked me my time. No one gives a crap about this race. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Like people were like, oh, you looked like you had so much fun. And I'm like, it was so hard. And then my pictures obviously don't make it look that hard. But nobody, like there was no wow factor with it. But with a marathon now, depends who I'm around, but there is, I do think that that's part of it, right? And it's like, I think with the marathon, I think that it's like, if you don't ever do another one again, you can say you did one, know?
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because it is really far. And
it is so far.
Like, I mean, when you drive 26.2 miles, aren't you not like, holy shit. Like, I cannot believe I run this far.
Yes. You know, one time I went to pace the Rock and Roll San Diego one, and I was like, I'm going to go drive the course to see how hilly it is. And then I was like, I'm not going to drive 26 miles around San Diego. Like, never. This economy with gas prices? Are you kidding me? No, I'm just kidding.
She has an electric vehicle now.
I have an electric vehicle, yeah. I just, but 26 miles is really fun. I don't think the marathon is overrated if you love the distance. I think you could also have bad experiences with the marathon, and then it is overrated. I don't, and I think, especially since this is a mother runner podcast, that if you are a mom and you
don't have the time.
Yeah. If you like, if it doesn't work into your life, or you also are like, am I supposed to do this just because I run? You know, like the answer is
like,
no.
it's what everybody's doing. If you run, that's what you got to do it. Yeah. I think, like, I don't think it's overrated. I think it's badass to be able to run a marathon. I think I just wish other distances were as glorified as the marathon. Like, hey, I'm trying to break X time in the 5K. I wish that people that had an equal wow factor. Like, that's amazing, you know?
Yes. I always try to give that to other people when they're like, oh, I ran a 5K. You know, I've done a race once and I did a 5K. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Tell me everything.
Wait, stop what you're doing.
What was your time? But because I want it to be like, it's a big deal to, especially as an adult, to go out and sign up for these things. Like, people, the majority of people are not doing hobbies and trying something new. They're doing meth, okay? The worst thing you could do for your body. They're running and doing meth and getting massages. Meth, marathons, and massages.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. Yeah, that's the name of this episode.
That's how we're ending the episode.
Stop. Hold on.
Olivia chokes on herself. Her own words. No, I just think that the majority of people aren't out there doing
Was
like
I
new
not
hobbies.
muted just then?
No.
My gosh, I told you my kids are like,
they've done pretty well. There's been nothing crashing so far.
It's relatable. So. It's okay. We want it on there.
It's not happy times at the Hines household. Okay. Meths, marathons, and massages. That's the title of the podcast. Got it. Okay.
Olivia, you need to share what you said to your husband earlier today. Because Whitney will appreciate it too. I personally don't relate to it because I'm opposite. But
that I put the PR in period. He was like, because I was like, my cramps are so bad. And then I was like, but then I remind myself, like, I can do anything. I PR'd on my period. And then it's like, I put the PR in period. And I wish that it was spelled like period. In my head, that's how I saw it.
That's so
and
awesome.
He didn't appreciate it as much. So I went and I was like, I'm going to go tell someone who appreciates this joke.
Did he get it? Or was he like, huh?
He was like, I think he got it, but it was also like, that's not that funny. To me, I thought it was really funny, but that's okay.
I think it's very, I have to put that on a t-shirt. I put the PR period. Yes. I'm in my fast era.
I love that.
I love that too.
I love that. It's okay. He keeps me humble.
I want to be in my fast era. All right. I'm going to read a review.
Perfect.
Are we done with the hot takes?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we could go on.
I think it's probably good if we just shut up now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have my kids yelling at me. So, where's the pants in this family? All right. I am a rookie 4-boy mama runner who would love to run a half marathon in February. I think this is the right one. I'm kind of scattered with my training. The most I've run is 8 miles. Anyways, I decided to listen to the latest episode today while folding my million miles of laundry, and it was such an answered prayer. You ladies are not only hilarious, but also humble and encouraging. It really helped put things in perspective and to not be so hard on myself and to just enjoy running as a gift. Thank you.
Oh,
that's so
very
good.
sweet.
Exactly.
Whenever you read those off, I literally am like, these people are freaking awesome. Like,
I know.
It's so sweet of them to take the time to leave a review, you know?
Yeah. Okay, but like what a perfect example, like someone who wants to run a half marathon and the immediate thought that I have is wow factor. Like I am telling you, like I've never cared about someone's time on a Metal Monday. I don't care about their distance. I don't care about any of it except the fact that they went out, ran, and then want to brag about it because they should. Like that is what should be. Yeah. Yeah. I just think like that's the core of what we're doing. It's why I don't absorb tons of running information constantly, because I do think that the simplicity of it is that I want to go, I'm a mother, I'm a runner, I want to run a half marathon. That's amazing. Like I think, I don't know, like that, it's just so awesome. And she probably will because she's a mom and a runner. Like she probably will, you know? So yeah.
I think that is my last hot take, is I think that things can, like the joy of running can be ruined when you get mired in all of just all the information, all the data, all the like, you know, you're supposed to do this. No, you're supposed to do this. You're not, you know, just, and then you're just in your head about it. And like running is supposed to be when you're not in your head and when you're just going out and clearing your head and doing something that makes you feel good about yourself, whether or not it qualifies as self-care.
Yeah, Shanna pointed that out during my last build. She was like, I'm worried that the joy is gone from you. And it was because I had so many outside factors, but like it was good to be, it was like, I needed that a little bit because it's like such a great check of like, am I complaining about it too much? You know, like, have I talked positively about this thing that I do love so much? Right. You know, you do need to be checked. Yeah.
I think that's a great sign, because that's what happened to me, and my husband pointed it out. It's like every time I would come in the door, I'd be upset about something. I'd be like, well, this hurt. And granted, I was running with a torn hamstring at the time, so like things did hurt, and I wasn't hitting my time because but you know, it's like I would come in and I would just like have this look on my face, and I would just be so down on myself. And it's like, that is the opposite of what this sport is supposed to be doing for us. So yeah, check yourself before you wreck yourself. You guys are too young to know that song.
Oh no,
I know
Rex and Effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We're not that young.
Look at her, so proud of us.
I know.
I mean, you guys are so much younger than me. You guys are very hip. You know a lot of multi-generational things.
No, you probably know more than I do, Whitney.
No,
with your age, I swear, I'm like,
because of your age.
No, your
the kids at their age.
My kids' age, and he said because of my age.
I literally, Whitney, I see you as my age. It's so weird. Like I still am trying to comprehend that you're in your 40s. Like it's weird to me when you say that, because I'm like, but that's not true. There's no way.
Yeah.
Like if
I think that is true though. Like, you know, if you're a mom and you're a runner, like we're all just kind of in the same age bracket.
Totally. That's how I see it.
Oh, 100%.
Unless you're 20s, you're in your 20s and you're a mom, then I'm like, you're really young.
Yeah.
That is true.
100%. I was like, they're going to be such a young mother. Oh. Yeah, even if they're like 26, that's when I had him, and I'm like, so young. Oh my gosh, you have your whole life ahead of you. But I still believe that. I do.
There are many things that you say, Olivia, that make you sound like a grandma.
As I'm sitting here in my flannel, I am a grandma. It's why I'm so unfiltered. My grandma, one time, she told me, she was like, the older I get, the less I worry about the things that I say. And I took that very seriously at like the age of 25. I was like, the older I get. But then I do worry. See, I think I've apologized like 8 times just to make sure I haven't offended anybody during this. I just want everybody to love us, okay?
Well, I love you. Well,
Thanks, Whitney.
as we've said, we are not for everyone, right? It's an acquired taste.
That's true.
All right. On that note, thank you guys for sharing your hot takes. Thank you everybody for listening in. Reminder about our secret podcast on Patreon. Patreon.com/mileswithmom podcast. We got lots of fun, exciting things coming up for you guys. So keep listening in.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Bye. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.